friends, this is Tina from the Scrappin Rabbit blog, and today I'm starting a new series called Crafting with My Stash. So I have decided that I'm going to start using what I have and really try to back off on purchasing more items because I just have too much stuff. And so what I wanted to share with you today are these paper doilies that I made. Aren't they super cute? And I did a few different kinds. Well, I guess I did 3 different ones. And this one ended up being my favorite one. But what I ended up using to make these paper doilies was this Spellbinder's die that I've had for, I think I've had this for over a year. And I'd gotten it at my local scrapbooking store during one of their big sales. And I knew that I wanted to make some paper doilies. And I finally have a reason to. And so I decided, instead of purchasing them, which you can find them online, you can buy some really cute paper doilies, and they're not too pricey unless you get them name brand. Then they can, you know, these would probably, for a pack of something this size, could probably run you about $6 or something for maybe a pack of 30, and or 25, or I don't know. I was thinking about purchasing them, and then I remembered, no, I need to craft with my stash. And so I have a meet and greet swap coming up, and I need to do 30 goodie bags, and so I wanted to, it's a fall themed. And so Halloween is fall, so I'm kind of thinking that these could be for any time, but this one definitely is more for Halloween. But I need to make 30, and so I was messing around, and I realized there's a learning curve to using these dies. And I figured I better figure it out because I have several Spellbinders dies. And I've used them before, just the frames with a little bit of the embossing, but when I went to go do these, I couldn't remember how to do it, and I went online to look at videos, and I had a tough time finding a video that worked for me, so I decided that I would go over what I did and show you what I used. Okay, the other die that I used is this Gina Marie die, and I used that for the edge of this one. And I'm really I think I'm overspending $30 for a nesting set like this. I found these dies right here, they are super duper wonderful quality. And you guys, I paid $10 for these. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been buying her dies a little bit every month because they are so nice, such good quality, and $10. And you go to buy any kind of nesting dies anywhere, and you're gonna spend like $30 by the time you pay tax and shipping. And I'm just kind of done with spending that much money. I just think that they're overcharging. If I can find nice dies like these for $10, and these here, I got these for $12. So I don't know. I mean, there's some nice dies. Unless I'm really madly in love with them, I don't think I'm going to be purchasing any more $30 dies. It's just too much money. But that's a side note. Let me go ahead and show you what I used to make these doilies. Okay. So I'm back, and yes, you are seeing this correctly. I have both my Sizzix Big Shot and my Cuttlebug out. So let me just explain why you see me using both of my machines. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who has both of these machines, because I started off with the Cuttlebug, which I love, years and years ago, but I really enjoy using my Big Shot because it's bigger and there's lots of advantages to having that. But when it comes to using these nesting dies that both cut and emboss, I just have to say that I was not finding the Big Shot easy to use at all. I watched like 3 different YouTube videos. I used my precision cutting plate. I used that squishy pad. I used the hard pad. I mean, I tried like 3 different things, and I could not get this thing to die cut it nicely and emboss it, and I just was kind of really getting annoyed with it. So then I went back to my trusty old Cuttlebug, and I was getting great embossing with it, and the cutting was actually okay, but I do like how my Big Shot cuts better. So what I did was I decided, you know what, using the magnetic platform is the way to go when you're using these stacking dies, because they are nested inside each other, and they stick, and you can line them up and then they don't move. I was using my tape and all this stuff, and then I was trying to get the tape out of the little holes after I cut it through, and I was just completely annoyed by the whole process. So what I ended up doing was doing my cuts on my Big Shot, bringing them over and doing the embossing on my Cuttlebug, and it was just, I was able to whip out these doilies, and I was having a much better time with it and actually having fun and not having a headache over the whole thing. So let me show you how we do this. Starting over here with the Sizzix Big Shot, I have my magnetic platform, I have one of my pads, I have my piece of paper, and then I like to do my cut side down so I can actually see where everything is going on the paper. Almost all the videos that I saw had the sandwich backwards, where you have your cut this way and then your paper, but then you can't even see if anything's lined up or if anything's moved, and that was a nightmare. I got a lot of moving cuts that way, so I'm just going to cut down like I always have done with my magnetic platform and have never had any problems. I could see where everything is placed on the paper, and then I can be a happy camper with how my results turn out. So I go ahead and I'm using a combination of the Gina Marie Dies, and I'm using this smaller piece inside for the extra cuts and the embossing. And let me just show you a close-up. I don't think I did that yet. So you can see how pretty these are with the embossing. I think that you can see that. So pretty. So you have your cut and your emboss, and they just turned out so nice. It's harder to see on this gray paper, but there's an extra line of embossing in here, and it really looks, and I'm using just die cuts with a view, those paper pads. My gosh, do I have so many of those stacks with 180 sheets of paper that I've never used for anything, and it just works perfect for these doilies, and I can do any season and any color because Lord knows I have the paper to do it. So have it set here on my Big Shot. I'm gonna put my do not cut plate on the top there. It's the one that's in the nicer condition, and I'm just going to wheel it through forward and backwards. What was that? My little kitty eraser? Okay. And so now I have my cut. So this outer die, I don't need this one because it doesn't have any embossing on it. It's just a cut die. So I can go ahead and remove that from my cut. And it helps to use a little spatula because they're so intricate, which it cuts perfectly fine without the precision cutting plate. Let me tell you, I'm sure that there's a purpose to that, but for this, the magnetic platform works beautifully. So now I'm going to go over here to my Cuttlebug. Let me see if I can move the camera. So with the Cuttlebug, I have, let's see, my A plate and my B plate. I'm going to flip this to where the cut side is up. I'm using my Anna Griffin silicone thing that comes with her dies that's made for the Cuttlebug, which works perfectly with this. And I'm going to set that on top. I'm going to top it off with another B plate, and then I'm going to roll it on through my Cuttlebug and then roll it on back. I usually do forwards and backwards, and this is thinner paper, So if you're using real thick paper, you might need to go more than twice, but this works out perfectly for this thinner paper and using the Anna Griffin pad for embossing. And then now this pops out, and look at how beautiful. Bring it back over to the light. So it embossed beautifully and it cut beautifully, and I just have maybe a couple things that I'll need to pop out, but other than that, I'm done. And then I can just cut, emboss, and then have it going back and forth and whip out 30 of these in no time at all. So that is how I did it, guys. And if anything, this video is going to be for me the next time I need to go do Spellbinder Dies and I forgot what the heck I did. And just so that you know, I really found this to be an absolute necessity for these dies. And it is, let me find the packaging real quick. It's a die brush and foam pad, and I didn't use the foam pad, I just used this brush, and I just brush through this over the trash, and all of this pops right out. Works beautifully. So I hope this video was helpful for you, because I just had such a heck of a time. You can see my workspace is kind of small, so when I use my Sizzix with that extended platform and then the flaps with it flapping over, and it knocks things off the other side of my desk, and it just, I don't know what was going on with that, but I was following directions and it was not happening for me. So this was the way that I did it, and I hope that this is helpful for you. I do have so many more Spellbinder Dies in my stash that I hope to get to, and I will definitely be sharing with you my end projects with my goodie bags and my flip album that I'm going to make for this swap. And I'm very excited to be crafting again and having a lot of more time now that the kids are back in school. Feel free to leave comments and ask any questions if you have any, and like I said before, I hope that this has been helpful for you. And I look forward to doing more videos and crafting some more with my stash. I think we all of us crafters, we are probably all a bunch of hoarders, and we're spending way too much money, and we need to use what we have. So yeah, wish me luck with that. Anyways, have a great day, everybody, and happy crafting.